So 5 laps to go in the Grand Prix of Sonoma and in the 2018 season. And Alexander Rossi, who runs 6th behind Marco Andretti, his teammate, has now fallen some 13 seconds in arrears of Scott Dixon, his championship rival. Let's not forget about the race leader and the guy who has just dictated the terms here today. That is Ryan Hunter-Reay.
He's been so unlucky this year, Townsend. He's been up the front all year, been in position to do really well at many races and had mechanical problems. One of the races that, like Graham Rahal, the car just shut off when he was right at the front of the field. So let's just keep our fingers crossed that nothing goes wrong, because there's nobody that's had worse luck than Hunter-Reay this year.
The thing that I love about Hunter-Reay is that he just always bounces back. He can come off a horrendous weekend and show up at a place like Sonoma here. And frankly, he's been dominant in practice, qualifying, and now the race. And it's ironic that he's just having a totally uneventful, quiet day at the front, and reminding everybody why he's an IndyCar champion, an Indy 500 winner, and definitely someone else that's going to factor heavily into 2019.
Well, it's not going to be uneventful to the end, because he's got a line of lap cars in front of him, and he's got a bit of a gap to Dixon. So he's got some cars just up there in front of him, and he's going to have to fight with those guys with a lap or two to go.
And we got to see him cook a turkey burger in Butterball's What You Cooking this year too, didn't we?
Bringing the heat. Hunter-Reay, there's that lap traffic, Paul, you're talking about. You've got Charlie Kimball, Max Chilton, Colton Herta. A lot of guys that might factor here at the end. And you know, for Alexander Rossi, that's like the only hope at this point is there any chance there's going to be some drama that might hold up Scott Dixon? Highly unlikely.
Yeah, I think those guys will be respectful of the situation, won't they?
Well, let's not jump to conclusions.
Oh, Bourdais pushes wide Rossi, so Rossi now really struggling with tires as Bourdais is now attacking. We'll see if he tries to make a move down into the chicane here. But as we're coming up on 3 laps to go, Hunter-Reay is gonna catch those tail end cars, and we'll see if he decides to fight with those guys.
It's like rear grip issues, even under braking for Rossi.
Free to go, free to go.
There's one thing that we've learned, sorry, a couple of things that we've learned about Alexander Rossi this year, is that he borders on fearless. His execution of passes when it doesn't look like there's any possibility there. But then when he is chasing, when he's in attack mode, it's pretty special to watch. And the way that he has not given up today, and the championship is slipping from his grip with less than 3 laps to go, but this kid doesn't give up.
Had texts with him before the season started, and he told me in a text, I said, I'm coming this year and I'm going to be on full attack. The very first race with Robert Wickens, he got in a wheel banging match with him, ended up finishing 3rd, and he said, I'm going forward in every race. And he's driven like that, Townsend, every race this year.
He has, and it's worked out remarkably well everywhere except today. And we kept saying that all season, that wow, Rossi makes these moves and he comes out looking like a champ every time. But unfortunately, that kind of bold dart up the inside of Marco Andretti, who he currently runs behind again, was just a little too much, a little ill-timed, got the front wing damage, went to the back of the field. He's done a brilliant job to come back, but I know in a long off season, he'll definitely be analyzing that opening lap move.
Two to go, no more overtake.
Alexander Rossi out of overtake now. Basically has kind of got a ride to the end here. He's got Bourdais. He's got nothing to defend with.
By the way, news on Bourdais just over the last 24 hours or so is that he will be back with Dale Coyne Racing next year. So that's pleasing news for the 4-time champ as he's all over Alexander Rossi now.
Tires are gone, so Bourdais just got to set it up here and try to get a good exit.
I thought Bourdais was going to try to throw it up the inside of the carousel, which would be very unconventional, but that's the downside, is you get that close to Rossi. Now you don't have the run going up to the hairpin, and with a lap and a half to go, the opportunities are starting to disappear where you can have a high probability move if you're Sebastian Bourdais.
Here's that lap traffic. We're coming up on 1 to go, so If I was Hunter Ray with the gap he has now, I wouldn't even try to fight with these guys. Just ride behind the back.
One more lap of Sonoma Raceway. Just under 2.5 miles to complete the 2018 Verizon IndyCar Series season. One that has been memorable for so many reasons. In particular, this man, Scott Dixon, who has led for the last 8 rounds in a row. He's had 0 DNFs this season.
About 6 corners to go, and I'm sure Scott Dixon's looking in his mirror at a fiery Will Power thinking, don't you dare get anywhere near the back of my car.
Portland 2 weeks ago, major off in the 2nd corner. He was in the dirt. That was the championship winning drive of the year, I feel, that really saved this championship for him. And today he's just kind of been in the driver's seat and controlled his own destiny and done what he's needed to do to win this championship.
So Ryan Hunter-Reay is on target to win the race. Scott Dixon is on the verge of something truly special and significant. This real family man, father of 2 girls, is in his 304th race today. But something that hasn't been done in 51 years since A.J. Foyt did it. Scott Dixon is about to become a 5-time champion. Credit where credit's due. Ryan Hunter-Reay wins the Grand Prix of Sonoma, but we witness something that hasn't been done in more than half a century. Scott Dixon is a 5-time IndyCar champion. And that is something that is not lost on Chip Ganassi Racing, his crew, his team, and he was pushed all the way by an Indianapolis 500 winner and a talented young American in Alexander Rossi. Great fight, couldn't quite do it in the end, and Rossi comes across the line.
We're hearing he ran out of gas, so he was saving fuel. Bourdais got by and he's done. He's completely out.
Wow.
While the celebrations begin, there is Emma hugging Mike Hull. Wow, this is a family. This is Scott's 18th year of racing in open wheel racing in North America at this level. And he joins A.J. Foyt as the only 5-time champions.
You call him the Iceman, and you will not meet a driver who is as cool on and off the track as Scott Dixon.
Jan.
And of course, tremendous celebration here at Chip Ganassi Racing. Chip, could you have imagined when you signed a young Scott Dixon that that partnership would bring 5 championships?
No, not really. You know, I mean, the kid, I remember him at Denver. We were racing in Denver, his first race with us, I think, and you know, it was just incredible. I think we told him he had to finish 2nd or something, or I'm not sure. But what an incredible ride it's been with this guy, and my hat's off to the team. I mean, it's the team that does it. It's of course it's Scott that drives the car, pushes the buttons, but I mean, you know, to bring on a new sponsor this year like PNC Bank and certainly NTT Data, how long they've been with us, and you know, to bring them a championship is really one of the all-time pleasures of my life, I can tell you.
Congratulations, Chip. That was a phenomenal performance. Nice job.
Thank you very much.
I think it's just starting to soak in now, isn't it? Sink in. Emma and Barry Wands are there from the team. Just trying to think and trying to absorb what it means to be a 5-time champ. Jan?
Everyone's backing up, letting the champion roll into place. Emma wanted to be the first to the car to congratulate the champ. Mike Hull, of course, who has called the strategy for every one of these 5 championships, comes in, gives him the handshake, and they gave him the tools today. And I can tell you that Emma, as she watched this race, was pacing back and forth. Even if you've already won 4 championships, this was a tense day, but one that went perfectly according to plan for Scott Dixon. What a moment. If you could hear that, he said, awesome, thank you for this opportunity. All right, let's get a look at the 5-time champion. It took 51 years, but Scott Dixon brings the championship here at Sonoma. Scott. Of course, he wants to congratulate the team. Scott. Barry Wands are there. Tell you what, we'll swing around and get him as he congratulates the crew, gets the hug from Mike Hull, who called some pretty awesome strategy through each of these championships. All right, Scott. What a day. Getting congratulations from Honda as well. There's a manufacturer's championship. There's 5 for you. How do you react when you knew that you're now in rarefied air with only A.J. Foyt for this number of championships? When you started your career, did you have a thought that could ever be possible?
No, but it's all about the people, you know, and I'm the lucky one that gets to take it across the line, but you know, I can't thank Emma enough, my wife. She's just been so amazing through this whole season. It's actually the anniversary of her father's passing today, so it's obviously an emotional time for her and her family, but you know, I can't thank enough everybody, the team, my teammates, everybody involved. This doesn't come, you know, without a lot of hard work, and you know, we had a lot of grit. We had a lot of things that could have gone wrong today, but huge thank you, obviously, for PNC coming on this year. Really stepped up the team. You know, Honda's been amazing. There's just so many people in NTT Data too, you know, our partners on this team. But my family, everybody at home, back in England, and especially my wife.
You say how emotional it was here, but it was very emotional 2 weeks ago also in Portland. When you drove into a dust storm and then realized that you could drive out, did you have maybe an idea this championship could be mine?
You know, I knew that day that we were going to be lucky coming out of that dust storm and that crash, you know, being hit a few times and being able to pull away. I knew that day was going to be good, but I was just hoping we hadn't used up everything before we got to the last race. But, you know, I got to thank, you know, the other teams too that we fought hard with, Penske and Andretti, throughout the season. Rossi did a hell of a job. You know, he's been pushing so hard this year and has a huge talent and one that's going to, you know, win many championships throughout his career. I'm just stoked for everybody. For Chip, this was mega, man. It's mega. 12th. They're 12th, IndyCar.
And you mentioned Alexander Rossi. You knew that he ran into trouble on lap number 1, but then when that caution came out, you knew he was on a tear. Did that put the pressure back on you again?
Yeah, a little bit. We were just, you know, making sure we didn't get ourselves into a segment, you know, an awkward place, you know, throughout the race that they could capitalize on, and for them to almost go down, you know, a lap, you know, was kind of helping too. But you know, nobody's ever out, you know, until we got to the last stop and we were full to the end. Even then, you know, I could see him moving on the pylon through. But man, this is so awesome. I can't believe it. I can't believe that's actually happened. I don't know. You always doubt these situations so much that it's never going to happen, and I can't thank everybody enough for this. It's so cool.
All right, congratulations, and there's the sticker. It's official. IndyCar champion 2018. Let's get to Kevin.
Alexander Rossi comes home second in the championship fight. It wasn't totally decided, but it went a long way, headed up the hill at the start. What happened when you got into your teammate?
I don't know. I mean, I got a good start, and then I don't know if he lifted or if I misjudged it or whatever, but it is what it is, and it's going to be a tough day to beat Scott anyways. But at the end of the day, you know, this Napa 27 Andretti Honda team did such a good job, and you know, it's unfortunate for it to go out like that. Like, I wish I could replay that a million more times, but it's the way it is, and the team did a great job to kind of get me back on the road to recovery. Thanks. After the mistake that I made. So at the end of the day, we have to look at 2018 and be pretty happy with it. Obviously, you're disappointed to come away second and the first loser, but we have lots to work on and lots to improve on for next year.
What do you make of where you've come? Just 3 years ago, You didn't know if you had a ride after the F1 deal fell apart. So now you're still an Indy 500 champion, and you came really close in your third season of winning a title.
Yeah, you know, I'm happy about it, but, you know, I expect a lot out of myself and the people around me, and you know, there's points in the year that I definitely made mistakes, and we had some things not go our way. So, you know, we'll spend the off season looking to improve upon that and be even better for year 4, and hopefully can come out of the box and lead it the whole way. But a huge congratulations to Scott. He's a 5-time champion now for a reason, and it's a pleasure to race against him all year, to compete against him, and we'll try and one-up him come September of 2019.
Alexander Rossi comes up just short in winning his first championship, but he will be back in 2019.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one to digest, isn't it? When it was just that awkward situation on the opening lap. So